Rocket Man over in North Korea is doing whatever he's doing with his fireworks.
Just turn North Korea into a parking lot and quit worrying about it.
I agree.
The fact that during this war, the war with Ukraine and everything, I mean, there's nothing wrong with sending money over there, but they said they were going to send money over there, and it was supposed to be this much, and then all of a sudden they messed up, and then it's so much more. Where did that money come from?
Oh, we can talk about erroneous government spending all night. Somebody pull up the numbers. Tell me how much money we are in debt right now, specifically to China. I'd like to know that. But I'm with you, Dakota. Why? I'm not going to say don't send aid to Ukraine, right? Because they are an ally of ours, and we want to help our allies.
Isn't it like 30 trillion some odd dollars now?
So we owe $859 billion to China. $33 trillion the United States is in debt. Can you even imagine having $1 trillion and we owe 33?
Before, if you had the national debt in pennies, it would make a stack that would go from Earth to Pluto.
How long is it going to take them to make that back? Like, there is no way.
No, never. It's the number's just going to continue to climb. We'll never be at a zero debt. Not in my lifetime, certainly not in your lifetime.
And then they want to come after us for our money, and it's just ridiculous.
The public of the U.S. owes 74% of that debt.
You also got to see how much are they putting into like their. I mean, I get it. Like we have won wars and stuff like that because of our equipment and stuff like that. But you gotta see they're spending maybe $10 million to $30 million on specific airplanes, and they don't even leave the ground most of the time.
I think military spending is important. I think that is very important, right. Especially after what happened in September of 2001.
If you ask me, I think it definitely overseas. I think that America just has its hands in too many slices of the pie. Like, I wish that America would kind of focus on its own issues first. I heard the defense spending is somewhere in the neighborhood of like $800 billion a year, like somewhere in that neighborhood, and
we could have paid Chernoff.
Yeah, I don't feel like it has to be that much. Like, I heard a story of a government contractor. They were selling like a repair for like a fighter jet or whatever, and it was like a single nut and bolt or something like super small and simple. But that one part, they billed the government for like $4,000, and they just paid it without even like looking at it. Like, I know to them that's kind of an inconsequential amount, but companies like, not going to name any specific companies because I don't want to get in trouble or whatever, but there's some companies that are selling stuff to the government that are way overcharging just because they know the government will pay the bill. There you go. I didn't want to say that, but
I used to work for I know what goes on. Okay.
Mm-hmm. It's things like that. But it's just I wish that they had a model of focusing on things that are inexpensive but adequate. Like the U.S. Air Force is great, and I think the F-22 is really cool, but for the kinds of warfare that we're in, I think that all the technology we have is just completely overkill for everything. Focus on defense, but leave other countries to kind of their own affairs and focus on fixing our problems first.
I'm with you there. I think we give, I'll say it, too much.
Yeah, I feel like America is a plumber with a leak in every faucet in his house, but he's going over and telling other people to fix theirs and fixing them by force, even if they don't want to pay for it.
I still think defense spending is critical. We are getting shafted by contractors left and right. There's no doubt about that.
They'd be better if they just sent $50 billion a year just to the Marine Corps and let them handle everything, and then spent the rest on infrastructure. They go $800 billion in defense.
Myke, that's 16% of our overall budget. It's not really that much.
If the defense budget were scaled back to even, I don't know, $200 billion a year, which I still feel would be too much, but I feel like at the very most we could get by on that. If we could do that for 30 years, I mean, we'd get through half of our.
Well, we could also get by, right? While Rocket Man over in North Korea is doing whatever he's doing with his fireworks. And
controversial opinion, just turn North Korea into a parking lot and quit worrying about it.
I agree. But
we'd have to rescue all of the the innocent civilians first, but at least like I don't know, their palace or whatever where
But
the holy man lives.
so if we just skim by, right, on a very small budget, and you're saying for 30 years, that leaves us vulnerable. Technology is
I
always growing.
I don't think so.
Well,
Given
no,
that
and but that's the thing. We don't know. We can say, well, I don't think so. The minute you have that bit of doubt, it's a problem. There cannot be when it comes to, and you got to look at it from their side, right? The
I don't
generals.
know the ins and outs of what our position compared to other militaries is, but I know that America has always had a policy of complete and utter supremacy on every corner of the earth, basically. Like, we have bases everywhere. We have the world's biggest air force, and we have the world's second biggest air force for our Navy. We have like the biggest ship fleet in the world, and the second biggest ship fleet in the world is our retired ships. It's like the amount of dominance that America has is just completely unnecessary.
No,
Like
I'm with you. I'm with you in other countries, but when here on our homeland, we need to. There can be, in my opinion, there can be absolutely no doubt that we are impenetrable. Absolutely no friggin' doubt because we
we
don't
do
want to.
also have to keep in mind that in America there's a gun behind every blade of grass. So, and Americans are definitely pretty territorial. So, I mean,
Well,
even
yeah,
if it
but
came down to civilians protecting their turf, I think they'd at least get by. But I'm saying apply the defense budget only where it's necessary, and like at least scale back things a little bit. Take your hands out of every single piece of pie that exists. Like, some people will get by just fine without America kind of meddling in everything, and then just focus on fixing our own problems first, because there could be potential problems that could come up by us not having as big of a defense, but while we're doing that, we're kind of ignoring the problems that we currently absolutely do have.
we have way too many problems in America.
And we could be fixing them, but because we have to have complete and utter dominance over everything, those problems are going to be postponed, I guess.